Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Rams House video. And if you do like Rams House videos, please make sure to hit that subscribe button because we make a lot of Rams content, and I'm sure if you are a Rams fan, you'd love to stick around for that. Today, we're going to be talking about Marvin Jones coming to LA, what it's going to take, because honestly, he's not an expensive guy in the market at all, and I can realistically seeing the Rams going after him. So let's just get into this topic. Now, to start off, you got to see what he brings to the table and really why the Rams would go after a player, because I'm sure if you are not too in depth with the Rams roster, you would be like, hey, we got good enough receivers. We got Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, now Van Jefferson, who would step up from that rookie position from last year. You know, why would we need Marvin Jones? And I'll tell you why. First, I'm not saying he completely answers the deep threat for us or he's a long-term answer, but I'm sure he goes a long way for us, because that's one thing you got to look at. The Rams are struggling with is the deep threat this year. And really last year, the last couple of years since we lost Brandon Cooks really did bring that energy, that fire, the speed to the offense, and he could really take the cap off the defense. There have been comments made from Sean McVay about how he wants to get another deep threat, go after a guy who can really take the top off the defense, and now I'm pretty sure he wants to go after one even more, simply because it's not Jared Goff throwing the passes anymore. All due respect to Jared Goff, he used to be able to hit the deep balls well, but now he kind of when he was on the Rams, he stopped taking the deep balls, and he wasn't very confident. He wouldn't hit them right. So, I don't think that we'd looked at that as a huge thing to, kind of dive into, try to go after. But now that we got Matthew Stafford, this could really make some sense. So, obviously, Marvin Jones brings that speed element that the Rams will need to really help them, want to go after this. Because, honestly, he's not that expensive. I'd see him going maybe around $7-8 million, which is not that much in the NFL. And another thing you got to look at that he brings to the table is he was with Stafford for a lot of time, and he was one of Stafford's favorite targets. If you look at his highlights, Matthew Stafford's, most of them were going to Marvin Jones. Granted, there are some other guys obviously getting into the mix because that's what you got with the football team, but Marvin Jones was just one of those targets that just seems like Matthew Stafford loved. So, I don't think that this would stop Van Jefferson from progressing. Obviously, I think when you have a lot of veteran talent around you, that's just going to help you in the long run, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But honestly, there's no really speed demon on the Rams, and I'm not saying Marvin Jones is a speed demon by any means, but he would be the fastest guy in the Rams team, and that connection, that chemistry that Stafford already has, that would just do, and that all it could do is help, because they're already familiar with each other. Then adding them to Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, and then also just like in getting Marvin Jones, you'd have a speed guy. So that's just going to help you again in the long run. And now that you got Stafford who can take those deep shots, who hits them right, and now McVay has more confidence in, that's just going to help it all the way in the long run. So this is a realistic thing. And Marvin Jones did say on his Twitter, there was somebody, I forgot who the guy was, but he said something about Marvin Jones coming to LA along with Stafford too. And then Marvin Jones retweets it. Like, he wants to follow Stafford, and he wants to come to LA. So, I wouldn't put this too far out of reach for the Rams, honestly. Like, if you can get guys like Matthew Stafford, Jalen Ramsey, some of the top-tier guys, and I don't think this guy's not going to be expensive. This is not going to be a risk. We know what he brings to the table. He's not old yet. He's got that connection. He would be the deep threat answer, at least for part-time right now, until we find a guy who can really take the top off. And all those things that brings to the table for the Rams, it's just something that would really help us out. So let me know what you think down below, because those are my thoughts on this. I think it's a very realistic thing to happen. He's cheap, they can go after these guys, and I don't think it would be too far out of reach, and he'd help this Rams roster in the long run. I know Van Jefferson can step up for sure. I definitely want to see that guy in the future. And Robert Woods, obviously, we know what they can do. But this would just be an amazing addition to the offense that's already gotten better before even the Super Bowl. So let me know what you think down below. Make sure to have a great day. Subscribe if you're a Rams fan, and God bless.